Welcome to the University of the Pacific's 2022 commencement ceremony. At this time, we ask all guests to please take your seat. Our program will begin in 3 minutes. University guests, thank you for joining us today. Please enjoy the processional of the graduates, faculty, and administration of University of the Pacific. Welcome again to University of the Pacific's Commencement Ceremony. The Commencement Processional is led by Professor Elizabeth Basha, today's University Marshal. Schools will process in the order in which they are founded, as represented on the banners they carry. Deans lead each school or college, followed by their graduates and faculty. School and college banners signify each of the academic units of the University of the Pacific. Each banner utilizes white print to signify the arts and letters that form the basis for all academic programs of the university. The primary color of the banner symbolizes the academic disciplines and the year in which each school or college was founded and displayed under each name. Each school or college includes the university seal and are presented to you today in the order of founding. Entering now, College of the Pacific, founded in 1851, led by Dean Rena Freyden. The College of the Pacific is the oldest and largest academic unit, encompassing 18 departments, 29 majors, in the natural sciences, social sciences, humanities, and the fine and performing arts. Based upon its foundation of a rigorous liberal arts curriculum, the college champions experiential learning through undergraduate research and creative activity, fieldwork, internships, and study abroad. The college prepares graduating students to command a broad perspective in their professional careers, ready to assume the responsibilities of leadership. Entering now, the Conservatory of Music. Founded in 1878 and led by Dean Peter T. Whitty. Pacific's Conservatory of Music has been delivering an outstanding music education for more than 140 years. Degree programs are offered in performance, composition, jazz, education, management, music therapy, and history. Conservatory faculty artists and scholars provide a rigorous and supportive learning environment. Students have access to a recording studio, technology, and composition labs. Seminars and masterclasses with accomplished alumni and visiting artists, along with numerous performance and other experiential opportunities, help prepare graduates for professions in music. The Arthur A. Dugoni School of Dentistry, founded in 1896 and led by Executive Associate Dean Eve Cuny. The nationally renowned Arthur A. Dugoni School of Dentistry, named in honor of its dean of 28 years, is committed to providing a world-class dental education for its students and comprehensive, affordable patient care for adults and children. The Dugoni School is highly regarded for its humanistic model of education that respects the dignity of each individual and for innovation in dental curriculum, including comprehensive patient care and competency-based education. Its programs include an accelerated year-round pre-doctoral DDS program that enables students to complete 4 academic years of instruction in 3 calendar years. Entering now, Mcgeorge School of Law, founded in 1924 and led by Dean Michael Hunter Schwartz. Mcgeorge educates lawyers for large and small firms, government agencies, and corporate legal departments around the world. Mcgeorge's success is built on its distinguished faculty, high-quality students, committed and involved alumni, and beautiful, spacious campus with state-of-the-art classrooms and student facilities. Mcgeorge is a dynamic law school that is changing and growing to meet the challenges of the global economy and to educate the lawyers who will be tomorrow's leaders. Bennard College. Yeah. Founded in 1924 and led by Dean Patricia J. Campbell, is named in honor of Gladys L. Bennard's endowed gift, which has provided the academic foundation for future educators, counselors, and leaders for nearly 100 years. Faculty create personalized learning environments and prepare students for service in public and private education and for leadership roles in nonprofit, businesses, education, and other sectors. At Bennard College, lifelong learners are cultivated and provided innovative pathways to hone their knowledge, skills, and abilities. Bennard's strength is in its diversity and provides an inclusive environment for lifelong learning. Entering now, Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy, founded in 1955 and led by Dean Ray R. Matsumoto. The Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy is named in honor of the financial support of the Thomas J. Long Foundation and the Long family. Since 1955, the school has been training pharmacists and scientists who are problem solvers, innovators, and leaders. The school is committed to creating a leadership-focused, success-centered environment for its diverse student body. Students are empowered to succeed through its advanced curriculum, healthcare outreach initiatives, and meaningful experiential learning opportunities. The school boasts a powerful and influential network of alumni across the country who hold coveted status in local, state, and national professional organizations. The School of Engineering and Computer Science, founded in 1958 and led by Dean Elizabeth J. Orwin. The School of Engineering and Computer Science empowers its students to solve problems by developing their own projects and working alongside professors on contemporary research. The school's faculty take each student's education personally and are committed to mentoring them both inside and outside of the classroom. With its distinguished cooperative education program, students also get to learn and earn through a paid professional internship built right into the curriculum with one of the school's 200-plus industry partners worldwide. The Eberhardt School of Business, founded in 1977 and led by Interim Dean Louis R. Gale. The Eberhardt School of Business was renamed in 1995 in recognition of the Eberhardt family. Fully accredited by the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, the school boasts a $3 million Eberhardt Student Investment Fund, a dedicated career management center, top-rated faculty, state-of-the-art classroom technology, and exceptional experiential learning opportunities. The school offers valuable business resources through its centers and institutes, including the Center for Business and Policy Research, Center for Entrepreneurship, and Westgate Center for Leadership and Management Development. Entering now, School of Health Sciences, founded in 2020 and led by Dean Nicoletta Bugnario. This is the newest school at University of the Pacific and was built on Pacific's long-standing reputation for healthcare, education, and features innovative curricula, accelerated programs, extensive experiential learning, and clinical training for all students. The School of Health Sciences was established in 2020 and offers graduate degrees in athletic training, audiology, clinical nutrition, medical and health science, nursing, occupational therapy, physician assistant, physical therapy, speech-language pathology, and social work. All programs include interprofessional education experiences designed to prepare students to deliver health care in a team-based model. Following the School of Health Sciences are members of the university's Pacific Emeriti faculty. Emeritus status is granted to faculty members upon retirement in recognition of distinguished service to University of the Pacific. The 2022 Order of Pacific recipients. Order of Pacific recipients include Professor Gary Litton, School of Engineering and Computer Science; Professor Jean Pearson, College of the Pacific; Professor William Swaggerty, College of the Pacific; Senior Associate Dean and Professor Linda Webster, Bennard College. Established in 1952, the Order of the Pacific recognizes regents, faculty, and staff who have provided distinguished service and made outstanding contributions to the university over a significant number of years. It is an expression of the university's esteem and appreciation for their steadfast dedication to Pacific. Entering now, Mr. Pete Carroll, class of 73 and 78, coach of the Seattle Seahawks, and University of the Pacific's 2022 Honorary Degree Recipient. An honorary degree is one of the highest honors a university can bestow. It is approved by the University Awards Committee, Academic Council, and the Board of Regents in recognition of exemplary contributions to the university and beyond. Next, we have members of the Presidential Party, academic and administrative officers of the university, and members of the University Board of Regents. Scout Cooper Wilson, class of 22, today's student commencement speaker. Lenore Miller Smith, class of 86 and 87, Alumni Association President. Joan Lynn Charagino, Vice Provost for Academic Affairs. Kim Montenegro, Reverend and Director of Religious and Spiritual Life. Scott Biederman, class of 05 and 20, Vice President for University Development and Alumni Relations. Maria Q. Blandisi, Vice President for Student Life. Chris Ferguson, Vice President for Enrollment Strategy. Marge Gray, Associate Vice President for University Strategic Communications. Janet Lucas, Director of Athletics. Ken Mullen, Vice President for Business and Finance. Arthur M. Sprecher, Vice President for Technology and Chief Information Officer. Mary J. Wardell Giraduzzi, Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Janet Rogers, Board of Regents. Donald H. Shalvey, Board of Regents. Nava Fati, class of 95, Secretary of the Board of Regents. Mary Elizabeth Eberhardt, class of 76 and 80, Vice Chair of the Board of Regents. Norman E. Allen, class of 84 and 94, Chair of the Board of Regents. Maria Palifaccini, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. And Christopher Callahan, President of the University of the Pacific. And now, carried by the chair of the Academic Council, Professor Paul Subar, class of 09, is the University Mace, which was handcrafted in recognition of Pacific's transition from a college to a university. You can learn more about the Mace and academic regalia in your program. And finally, please welcome the Pacific Alumni Association and the Golden Tigers procession leader, Mr. Alex Veshagen, class of 1957. Yes, it has been 65 years since his graduation from Pacific. Alex is leading the 50th reunion class in our traditional Memorial Rose Walk. The roses, carried by members of the class of 1972, are in honor of their classmates who could not be here today. The Memorial Rose Walk procession leader is an honor bestowed upon alumni who most exhibit the characteristics of a lifelong Pacifican. These characteristics include philanthropy, engagement, and leadership with the university. Alex met his wife of 56 years, Jerry McCarl, while a student at Pacific. They both served on the Pacific Alumni Association Board of Directors, and in 2010, they received the Pacific Alumni Association President's Award for service to their alma mater. In 2011, the Alex and Jerry Veshagen Alumni House was completed and named for them as the lead donors to the building. After a long career in farming and banking, Alex now enjoys the lakes and streams of his vacation home in the high Sierra Mountains. He is leading the class of 1972, who have returned to campus to celebrate their 50-year reunion. In 1972, the headlines included the hiring of the first female FBI agents. HBO began operating as a pay television service. The video game Pong was invented. And the first scientific handheld calculator from HP was introduced at a price of $395. And in Stockton, Pacific student and Tiger football free safety Pete Carroll was ranked 4th nationally in interceptions. At this time, please join me in welcoming home to Pacific Mr. Alex Veshagen, class of 1957, leading the 50th reunion class of 1972. Honored guests, graduates, and faculty, please be seated as we welcome to the podium Reverend Kim Montenegro, Director of Religious and Spiritual Life at University of the Pacific, to lead us in the convocation.
Good morning. That's your turn. Good morning. That's what I like to hear. Please join me in this prayer and meditation. O Holy One, be with us as we celebrate the achievements of our students. We sit in the midst of this beautiful setting and marvel at the work of your hands, not only at the natural beauty, but the beautiful minds of our graduates today. As we gather here to celebrate a step forward into new places with new people and new experiences, let us not forget the blessings that follow behind us, the families, the friends, mentors, professors who have guided, challenged, molded us along the way. Good and loving God, we thank you for the completion of another academic year and for giving us the opportunity to play a part in the lives of our students and our new graduates. We are grateful for your guidance and love as we share in this important work. Please bless and guide our graduates as they reach this end and they chart new beginnings. Please help them to use all that they've learned here. Late night cram sessions, deep friendships, decision-making skills to make the world a better place, to serve others in true solidarity and kinship. As decisions are being made about the future, allow for right guidance and direction to take place. We ask for the anxiety about the future be calmed and a sense of overflowing gratitude take place. We pray that out of their lives would flow service, love, generosity, compassion, in a world that is in desperate need to see goodness in action. Finally, God, we thank you for the opportunity of being able to build our community with these folks who are gathered here today. Though they are leaving campus, we know that they will always be a part of the Pacific family, for we know, once a tiger, always a tiger. Amen.
Please rise for the singing of our national anthem, performed by members of the Symphonic Wind Ensemble and Pacific singers from our outstanding Conservatory of Music.
Thank you.
Please be seated and welcome to the podium Norman Allen, proud 1988 graduate of College of the Pacific, 1994 graduate of the Mcgeorge School of Law, and chair of the University Board of Regents.
Good morning. A little better, let's try it again. Good morning. It's really my pleasure to be here today to represent the University of the Pacific Board of Regents. You know, Pacificans have been celebrating commencement as an annual event longer than any other annual event in the state of California, which means this, today, is a historic day. And I am thrilled to welcome all of you to be here and to celebrate. My fellow regents, join me in congratulating each of you for your perseverance, on your commitment to fulfilling your academic goals, and on earning your degree from Pacific. We know it is hard work in the best of times, and you have done it in the most extraordinary of times. We are so proud of you. I sat where you sit some years ago for this commencement, and I remember what an important day it is. But I think most importantly, you have to have fun. We have a lot of pomp and circumstance and formality here today, but this should be a fun event. So I'm going to ask President Callahan to step up with me. He doesn't know this. President Callahan. We're going to do a selfie with all of you. But if you're just sitting there, it's going to be kind of boring, right? So this is a chance. Remember Tiger Roar from your first day, right? If you want to, stand up, clap, give a roar, celebrate, and we're going to take a picture with you all in the background, okay? Ready? Now, let's have some fun. And back to the formality. It's my honor, on behalf of the Board of Regents, to call to order this commencement ceremony and to introduce the 26th President of California's oldest university, President Christopher Callahan.
Thank you, Chair Allen. Good morning, Regents, faculty, honored guests, family, friends, class of 1972, and most important, class of 2022. This ceremony is like none other in 171-year history of University of the Pacific. And that's because the past 2 years have been unlike anything California's first and oldest university has ever faced. You, our students, were confronted with challenges that were truly unprecedented in the history of American higher education. But you not only met those challenges, but you thrived. You showed unbelievable strength, courage, compassion, resilience, adaptability, and creativity. You continued your passion for learning at the highest levels despite these tremendous obstacles. In short, you simply refused to let anything get in the way of your hopes and your dreams, and you succeeded. And today we're here to celebrate you. We are enormously proud of all you've accomplished, and we look forward to watching your successes in the months, in the years, and in the decades to come. Congratulations to this very, very special class of 2022. But we also know that you did not accomplish this alone. You will be hearing more shortly from Provost Palifaccini about our extraordinary faculty and the essential roles they've played in your successes. But I wanted to take this moment to recognize another group. And if I may ask our graduating students to rise and turn towards our audience and our guests. So please rise and turn to your family and friends. if I may, to the mothers and fathers of our graduating students, as well as sisters and brothers, grandmothers and grandfathers, spouses and partners, daughters and sons, cousins, aunts, uncles, neighbors, and friends. We join our graduating students in thanking you for all of your support for these amazing people, and congratulations to all of you on a job extraordinarily well done. Now, it is my honor to introduce our academic leader, Dr. Maria Palifaccini, our Provost and University Executive Vice President. Dr. Palifaccini.
So thank you, President Callahan, and welcome graduates and honored guests. In my role as the university's Chief Academic Officer, I work with the deans and with your faculty to ensure that your educational experience prepares you for success. The faculty is the core of an academic institution, and Pacific's faculty is simply outstanding. They are dedicated and passionate to teaching and scholarship. They are also compassionate advisors and mentors. They have prepared you to succeed academically through your coursework and scholarship. They helped you develop critical and creative thinking skills through their thoughtful classroom discussions and real-world practical experiences. Importantly, they challenged you to think differently about key issues, about the world, and about yourselves. Your professors not only know your name, but they know you, and they care about you as an individual. They have been there for you during your time at Pacific, and they will be there for you in the future. Know that today is not the end of that special relationship with your professors. That unique connection that you formed with your faculty members, which is part of your Pacific experience, will continue. It marks the beginning of a lifelong connection as alumni. I want to personally thank our faculty for their dedication, their work, and at this time, I ask them to be stand and recognized. Professors, if you would stand, thank you for your dedication to your students. Today, professors and students and family is all about the results of that dedication. It is why we do what we do. So class of 22, we present your faculty. Thank you. And next I would like to invite President Callahan and Regent Allen to join me at the podium to confer the Order of Pacific.
Today we honor selected members of the Pacific community for exceptional service that has enriched the lives of our students and our university. The Board of Regents has voted to convey upon these four extraordinary Pacificans our highest honor, the Order of Pacific. Together with Provost Palifaccini and Chair Allen, I invite the recipients to come forward.
The university honors Professor Gary Litton with the Order of Pacific for his distinguished service as a professor of civil engineering. A dedicated educator, Professor Litton has been instrumental in the development of a robust environmental engineering program within civil engineering. He was also recognized by his professional peers as the San Joaquin Engineers Council's Engineer of the Year in 2015. University honors Gene Pearson with the Order of Pacific. For his distinguished service as a professor of geological and environmental sciences. In addition to his many accolades as an educator and scholar, Professor Pearson is the longest-serving tenured faculty member of the University of the Pacific. In addition to his invaluable service at Pacific, he has been recognized nationally as a Fellow of the Geological Society of America and for his distinguished service to the field by the National Association of Geoscience Teachers. The university honors William Bill Swaggerty with the Order of Pacific. For his distinguished service as a professor of history, in addition to his outstanding service in teaching and scholarship, he has served as the director of the John Muir Center, a visiting scientist at the National Museum of Natural History, and Fulbright Senior Specialist. Professor Swaggerty is also a recipient of the Phi Beta Kappa Northern California Excellence in Teaching Award in 2021. The university honors Linda Webster with the Order of Pacific. For her distinguished service as a professor of counseling and school psychology and Senior Associate Dean of Bennard College. Professor Webster is an accomplished scholar and an early adopter of hybrid and online learning models, which became fundamental to Pacific's transition to online teaching and learning in 2020.
Congratulations again to our 2022 Order of the Pacific recipients. It is now my pleasure to invite Mr. Pete Carroll to the podium. One of the highest honors in academia is receiving an honorary doctorate, recognizing a lifetime of extraordinary achievement and positive impact on the world. In a few moments, we will confer upon Mr. Carroll an honorary Doctor of Business Administration degree. But first, please allow me to tell you a little bit about today's honorary degree recipient. Mr. Carroll is, of course, the Super Bowl winning head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, and quite simply, one of the great sports leaders of this or any other generation. He is one of only 3 head coaches in history who has won both a Super Bowl and a collegiate national championship. Mr. Carroll's illustrious career started right here at Pacific, where he received a bachelor's degree in business administration in 1973, and later a master's in physical education while starting his coaching career. And like so many of you graduating today, he was and continues to be inspired by the Pacific professors who touched his life. Just last night, Mr. Carroll and his wife Glenna, another great Pacifican, had dinner with two wonderful Pacific mentors, Professors Glenn Alba and Larry Meredith, some 50 years after first learning in their classes. That is the power of a Pacific education. Mr. Carroll also has been a leading voice nationally on social justice issues and founded Amplify Voices, a social justice media platform. The Carrolls also have endowed scholarships to serve underserved students, as well as endowed a professorship in Professor Meredith's honor. Pete Carroll is truly a great Pacifican. Upon the recommendation of the faculty, and with the approval of the Board of Regents, I am delighted to confer upon Pete Carroll the honorary degree of Doctor of Business Administration. Dr. Carroll, congratulations.
That was a lot of nice stuff right there. I'm really taken by the setting and being back here, and just thrilled to be here. Thank you to President Callahan and the administration. Thank you to the Board of Regents and Mary Eberhardt and her family for taking care of us. As always, she's been the fire plug around here for a long time, and she still is. To all the graduates and their families and grandmas and grandpas that got a chance to be part of this today, thanks for letting us be part of your special day. Today's an incredible day of gratitude and really nostalgia for us, and this is a recognition that really is a humbling recognition. How are they making me a doctor? I don't know. But they are, and so we're grateful, and I say we, because we have some people to thank, and to me it's always been about the other people and those that have been with us along the way. My wife Glenn and I are really so grateful to the Pacific family for bringing us back to campus to celebrate these years. Graduating class of 2022, we're part of your day today, and we honor that. But the Pacific memories that are so dear to our hearts, that were so crucial to the development and the proud feeling of being graduates and Pacific family members. It's a big deal, and I'm really grateful. Glenna was a tremendous student, decorated graduate, and a really good volleyball player, and arguably the best athlete in the family. And we want to thank the people that were really here, that were part of it when we were here, but also those that affected us as we moved forward. We both recognize that it was the people here at Pacific and the experience that made it so rich. This beautiful setting, the size and the makeup of this unique campus, the freedom of the access to the people that really were available to us, that you guys have all had the chance to experience, just made this an amazing time for us. I want to start with just mentioning that the coaches that I was with, that coaches have always been such a big part of my life and helping me along the way. But a couple guys are here today, and I just want to make note. It started with a guy named Homer Smith that you guys don't know about, but really happened with a guy named Chester Caddis, who was an amazing figure in our lives and influencing us and making our experience so much fun. But today, I got Gary Scott's here, we coached with, and Ted Leland that we coached with, and a couple players too, Steve Town and Spike, and to all the other guys that you know, all those guys, those crazy guys that we played with and all that I owe so much to. We learned so much together, and you know, I just grateful that we're here to recognize that. But really the players and the teammates, man, that was something. the experience we had here, and I know you don't know because football hasn't been around, but it was really meaningful. And names that you wouldn't know, but they're kind of famous. I'm going to mention a couple of Mitchell True and Willard Harrell and my Chuck Knutson, Chuck North, the Suttons, Art White and Vern Kellerman, Vernie Kelly, Rick Russell, all of these guys that our names don't mean a lot to you guys, but they were the whole world to me when I was here. And Bruno and Mankins and all those guys, man, these guys know. Thanks to my brothers for letting us compete together and do all the things that we did. It was so crazy and fun and all of that. But the thing I want to share with you today is about the experience that really was focused and kind of lasered in when I came back to school here as a graduate student in '74. And it was the professors that I had a chance to meet and be influenced by that really just opened up the doors and the reaches to higher education. And I was not a great student. I'm not getting this doctorate thing because of my academic prowess. But a lot happened right then. And I don't know if you've recognized the impact that the professors have had on you, but they have changed my life. And remain influential today. We did stuff in sports psychology, the higher reaches of the sport experience, human development, human potential, stuff that you would never think would tie in with a guy that's coaching football in the NFL. We really studied deeply in peak experience and in the world of sport, and how could we nurture that? How could we develop the mentality and present the opportunity for our athletes to experience that as well? And Glenn introduced me to Abraham Maslow and his work in self-actualization, which I never would have thought during my days it wouldn't have anything to do with coaching football, but it did. Timothy Galway, we get to meet these people and get up close and personal back in the 70s. It was an amazing time. Dr. Glenn Albaugh he's over here in the corner, and he was my master's teacher. And we did so much together, but it wasn't the time then. It's what's happened since with our relationship. But he wasn't the only one. Dr. Lawrence Meredith is sitting up here in the front row. He was Lancelot in religious studies. He was the MVP. He was the Heisman Trophy winner at Morris Chapel. I mean, he was the whole thing now. And it was such an indomitable spirit then and still is. And his wife, Pat, I'm so glad that they're here with us today. Larry also changed our lives in that he married Glenna and I after we took his religion of the body class, which was an R-rated class back in the day, but we wound up getting married as our final, and we owe it all to Pat and Larry. So it was extraordinary influence. So who'd have known, all those years back, and that it would all become so significant in college football, in professional football, in the NFL. Just 2 days ago I was with my team, and I'm still talking and espousing the same principles about achievement, effort, toughness, aggressiveness, but the creative side of the game and the beautiful side of the opportunity for the experience to just take you to places you could never get otherwise. And you guys were the ones. I mean, you guys were the ones that inspired me, and so I'm so grateful for that. And we stayed together. We're kind of like we got a little triangulation we do on game day. We still hook up, and we get the spirits swirling a little bit in the vortex, over the stadiums. You don't realize why that's how we've been winning, but I owe it to these guys. But what I want to ask you today is was this part of your Pacific experience? Were you fortunate enough when you were here to have those kinds of relationships in your life? And what's really cool about it to me is that if you're like me, you had no idea. I didn't know that these guys were going to influence me like they did. I didn't know that it would still be in my mind, and we would be meeting again last night to be hugging and loving each other up and all of that. After all of these years, it's been, almost 50 years. Do you know what that relationship is in your experience here? It might be the student sitting next to you, but it's probably a professor or an administrator or somebody who's going to change your life, and you don't even know it. You couldn't even tell. I didn't know, so you're probably no different than I was. But the fact that is out there for you, man, I just think it's so exciting. And as graduation kicks you off into wherever, you don't know wherever it's going to wind up. You'll find out, but it maybe just happened, and so I'm thrilled for you guys. I want to mention one other person to thank today. This really goes back to the days of playing football and being a ball player and all of that. The keeper of the flame of UOP football is right here in front, Ted Leland. Dr. Ted Leland was a player and a coach here. We coached together back in the day, went on to be an extraordinary administrator in sports here at the university as an AD and again at Stanford, and where they were famous. But I want to thank Ted, you know, and you kept this thing going. And without you, it would not have happened. And I know Steph was there with you all the way, and all. But I just want to say, so people know, that it wouldn't have happened without you. And so I'm really grateful for that. He spearheaded the Legacy Project, you know, the football project out there, you know, where we used to play games and practice and all that kind of stuff on Knowles Field. But we will all be forever grateful, Teddy, that you did that, and I really appreciate it. So. You know, maybe you've been fortunate enough to make one of those relationships happen. Maybe you're going to carry it with you. Maybe you'll recognize it 5 years, 10 years, or whatever down the road. I don't know. But magic like this happens at Pacific. It does. And it's a place that's very, very unique. The size of it, the intimacy of the size of this campus and the student body, your relationship with your professors and the people that guide you through this, it's a magical place. And so coming back today just reemphasizes it. And so I know y'all gonna kick butt, and when we get to the football season, I wouldn't mind a little bit of Seahawks. You know, you guys can give us a little bit. We'll take that too. Today is your day. Thank you so much, really. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. See ya.
Congratulations, Dr. Carroll. I now call upon the academic deans to present their candidates for the conferral of degrees. While Dean Whitty makes his way to the stage, I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge the graduates, the deans, the faculty, and guests of the School of Health Sciences, the Arthur A. Degoni School of Dentistry, and the Mcgeorge School of Law, who may be joining us today. Your hard work and dedication has not gone unnoticed, and I look forward to celebrating your achievements at your ceremonies later this month and next month.
Okay. Will all the candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, and Master of Music in the Conservatory of Music please rise? Members of the Board of Regents, President Callahan and Provost Palifaccini, I am pleased to present the candidates for degrees in the Conservatory of Music. Congratulations to all of our graduates.
Will Dean Patricia Campbell please present the candidates for degrees from Bennard College?
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies, the Bachelor of Science, the Master of Arts, Educational Specialist, and Doctorate of Education in Bennard College please rise? Members of the Board of Regents, President Callahan, Provost Palifaccini, I am pleased to present the candidates for degrees from Bennard College. Congratulations to all the graduates.
Thank you. Will Interim Dean Lewis Gale present the candidates for degrees from the Eberhardt School of Business?
Will all the candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Bachelor of Science in Accounting, Master of Accounting, Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Finance, and Master of Science in Business Analytics in the Eberhardt School of Business please rise? Members of the Board of Regents, President Callahan and Provost Palifaccini, I am pleased to present the candidates for degrees in the Eberhardt School of Business. Congratulations to all of our graduates.
Will Dean Ray Matsumoto please present the candidates for degrees from the Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy?
Will all of the candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Arts in Applied Science, Master of Science in Pharmaceutical and Chemical Sciences, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmaceutical and Chemical Science, and Doctor of Pharmacy in the Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy, please rise. Members of the Board of Regents, President Callahan and Provost Palifaccini, I am pleased to present the candidates for degrees in the Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy. Congratulations to all of our graduates.
Will Dean Elizabeth Orwin please present the candidates for degrees from the School of Engineering and Computer Science?
Will all of the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in the following disciplines: bioengineering, civil engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, engineering management, engineering physics, and mechanical engineering, and the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Engineering Science, Master of Science in Computer Science, and Master of Science in Data Science in the School of Engineering and Computer Science, please rise. Members of the Board of Regents, President Callahan and Provost Palifaccini, I am pleased to present the candidates for degrees in the School of Engineering and Computer Science. Congratulations to all of our graduates.
Will Dean Rena Fraden please present the candidates for degrees from the College of the Pacific?
Will all the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Master of Arts, and Master of Science in the College of the Pacific please rise? Members of the Board of Regents, President Callahan, Provost Palifaccini, I am pleased to present the candidates for degrees in the College of the Pacific. Congratulations to all of our graduates.
Will all of our graduates please rise together once more? Please stand. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. For our graduates, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side of your mortarboard. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, and upon the recommendation of the University of the Pacific faculty, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate degree from University of the Pacific. Family, friends, faculty, please join me in congratulating the newest graduates of California's first and oldest university.
Please welcome to the stage Lenore Miller-Smith, graduate of the classes of 1986 and 1987 and president of the Pacific Alumni Association.
Thank you. On behalf of the Pacific Alumni Association and more than 80,000 worldwide alumni, it is my distinct honor and personal privilege to be able to congratulate you and welcome you to the Alumni Association. You are a proud, loyal, and global tiger. We welcome you to the family. As a Pacific graduate, you are now a reflection and a representative of what it takes to make this such a phenomenal place. Stay connected to your Pacific family and help us connect you with other alumni. Be assured that wherever life takes you, your Pacific family will always be there to support you. There are no dues to belong to the Alumni Association. All we ask is that you keep in touch and remain involved. please know that you're always welcome on campus, especially to the Alex and Jerry Veshagen Alumni House, your home at Pacific. We look forward to hearing about you and both your professional and your personal life. You are now an ambassador of the Pacific legacy and a Tiger for life. Congratulations on a job well done, and go Tigers.
Thank you, Lenore. We believe that on this day that celebrates our students, that a graduating student have the last word. Scout Cooper Wilson has been a great student and a great student leader during her 4 years here at Pacific. A humanities scholar, Scout just earned her BS in Economics and BA in Cultural Studies. She was a mainstay at the Robb Garden, and of course, for the past year, served as your ASUOP president. I've had the privilege of working closely with Scout over the past year, so I know firsthand that she truly represents the very best of Pacific. It is my honor to welcome to the podium your student commencement speaker, Scout Cooper Wilson.
Good morning. Thank you for listening patiently to all the other speakers this morning. I promise we're almost done. President Callahan has emphasized that I have the last word today, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to do so and have the last word on my Pacific experience. A few months ago, when I was starting to really get serious in my job search, I found myself in a moment of crisis, which I'm sure you've all experienced as well. I've never known what I wanted to do with my life, never had a dream career, but I've always known that I wanted to help others, and I know this is a painful cliche, but make the world a better place. However, I was feeling pretty disillusioned about the state of the world and my role in building a world that I would want to live in. As I've done many times over the past 4 years when I felt particularly lost, I went to see one of my professors. Dr. Becker shared with me a quote from Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. "Life is to be lived, not controlled, and humanity is won by continuing to play in the face of certain defeat." This helped shift my perspective, so I share it in hopes that it can do the same for some of you if you're feeling similarly worried or pessimistic about what life holds for our generation. In my time as ASUOP president, I've learned that it's one thing to have an idea, another to enact that change, and it's something else altogether for that change to be noticed and its impact to be felt. This is particularly true when you have big dreams and a small amount of time. This taught me that I can't change the world myself, and neither can any of you. But individually, we can hold our own values and goals in our hearts and honor them through our actions every day. We often refer to this day as graduation, but its true title is commencement. A synonym for commencement is beginning, and I challenge you to think of this as the beginning of furthering your own learning. This is especially important because if we think of graduation as implying mastery of a subject, we give ourselves permission to think that our learning is done. I realized last fall during my economics capstone class that I've barely scratched the surface of the subject I've earned a degree in, and I would wager that's true for all of you too. Whether we are continuing our formal education or not, there is still so much to learn, and it's critical now, more than ever, that we keep our minds open to new ideas. Finally, I want to acknowledge the significance of this day. The past 4 years have been a lot, to say the least, and the hardships that our class have endured have made me realize truly how big of a deal it is that we've earned our degrees. We've struggled for 2 years now through a pandemic that has impacted every aspect of our lives, even still today. The challenges imposed by COVID-19 made me question something I'd previously never doubted. My place here today, not up here giving the speech, but graduating college. Thankfully, I didn't have to struggle alone. Alongside those of us graduating today, our families and friends have sacrificed a lot to support our education here, starting with our tuition bills and ending with sitting through the hot sun to celebrate us today. We've each dealt with countless additional challenges, big and small, personal and academic, but all of us sitting here in these silly hats and hot gowns have triumphed against the adversity to finally receive our degrees today. I hope you hear this 100 times today, but if you don't, I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of us. I will miss spending every day on this beautiful campus in a community that is more supportive and inspiring than I could have ever imagined. Thank you all for making this goodbye one that's bittersweet. I think we've all learned that the future is unpredictable, but if the past 4 years have prepared us for anything, it's that there's no challenge that we cannot meet. Congratulations to the class of 22. And one last thing before we celebrate. I've been warned this is messy, but let's do the hat toss. Does everyone want to stand? All right, is everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay.
Honored guests, graduates, and faculty, as we conclude today's commencement ceremony, we invite you to stand as we sing Pacific's alma mater, Pacific Hail, which is printed on the back of your program. Once the alma mater is commenced, the recessional will begin, led by our platform party. We ask guests to please remain in your seats until all graduates and faculty have left their seats.